What is your name? What is your name?
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You need to listen to me instead of talking, okay? Well, I find that Matthew Neil Aldridge has failed to appear. What I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation, and I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. When I'm talking, you stop talking. But I don't know.
Buckle up, guys. Today, we're diving into the bizarre world of sovereign citizen logic, where Robert Joseph Mattson strolls into court and immediately rejects the judge's authority like it's an unsolicited sales pitch. He talks over her, demands impossible explanations, and even questions basic legal terms. What starts as a routine hearing turns into a masterclass in legal denial, where Mattson seems more focused on ideology than reality. The judge, unfazed, keeps things firmly in check. Welcome to Courtroom Patience on full display.
As quickly as we can so that we can start on the jail docket. 2021 CR 19158, State versus Matthew Aldridge. Are you Matthew Aldridge? Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or...
All right, guys, Mattson takes a deep dive into delusion here. He insists the court lacks jurisdiction, then drops buzzwords like hearsay and due process, like he's read half a law book. The judge calmly walks him through the basics, but he refuses to engage with any legal sense. It's like watching someone try to debate gravity. And when the judge tries to clarify charges, Mattson cuts her off with smug defiance. This isn't a conversation. It's a crash course in courtroom chaos.
Or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't we court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
Yeah.
All right, this is in the state of Tennessee of Cheatham County and Chancery Court, which is filed in the wrong county because in the wrong court, because this is circuit court. You just be quiet.
You go to the courthouse, it comes up.
You need to listen to me instead of talking, okay? This is a challenge to the standing. The Supreme Court of the United States has stated that no corporation has standing anything to man. And then there's a quotation for Rundle versus Delaware Raritan Canal Company. And then it said, as well as it being a maximum law, citing certain Latin phrases, dissimilar things ought not to be joined by a definition of Black's Law Dictionary. So the respondent in error requires that the state of Tennessee Incorporated and Cheatham County Chancery Court prove their standing to proceed against a man in any court of law. You have 15 calendar days to prove your standing or forever yield to estoppel, waiver, and fraud, and cease and desist this proceeding immediately. More time is available if requested. And then this was signed by Matthew O'Neill Aldridge. Is that your signature?
That's the respondent and error signature.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neil Aldridge has failed to appear.
Here's where things really go off the rails. Mattson refuses to acknowledge even his own name, claiming Robert Joseph Mattson is a fiction. It's peak sovereign citizen nonsense, and the courtroom feels like a theater of the absurd. The judge keeps steady, trying to offer legal counsel, but Mattson wants no part of it. His arrogance is as loud as his logic is flimsy. Every attempt at explanation is stonewalled with more pseudo-legal gibberish. The tension, thick enough to slice with a subpoena.
On his case, which was set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neil Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because that what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority, if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge, to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this. And I'm just simply instructing you that if you are, in fact, Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right, to Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered. Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are, in fact, Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th. Or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th.
All right, things get even weirder. Mattson doesn't just reject legal counsel, he mocks it. He wants to settle this like men, but the judge isn't entertaining fantasy. The courtroom is not a duel ring, and she reminds him this is a criminal case, not a debate club. Mattson's Tone gets sharper, almost threatening. He tries to dominate with volume and arrogance, but the judge doesn't budge. This is textbook behavior of someone clinging to ideology instead of facing charges.
Understand that we have to show up and pay for our sins. And that's what we do. How many total warrants did she have on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total warrants, Your Honor.
Is the father helping you out of the child?
No, I didn't tell you guys that. You guys made that up yourself. I never said that.
We don't acquire 9 warrants unless we think that we're bigger than courts.
And can I have
Ma'am.
that?
Now we see the judge flex some control. Mattson continues interrupting, trying to spin the courtroom into a circus of sovereign logic. But the judge makes it crystal clear. She's not here for games. She spells out the charges, the maximum penalties, and what's on the line. Despite every interruption and smirk from Mattson, she maintains poise. This is where the courtroom turns from chaotic to commanding. The judge lays down the law, and suddenly, it's no longer his stage.
To provide proof of completing 24 hours of community service by October 1. I told her on October 1 that I was going to set it over for sentence, or on November the 21st, adjourned it to December 19th. I got a call from my judicial clerk saying that she was sick or her child was sick or something along those lines. I adjourned it over to today. Is there anything you'd like to say? Tell me, give me proof that she's done her community service.
Your Honor, she does not have proof at this time.
Why not?
Judge,
She
currently,
didn't do it.
yes, Judge, I note that she is currently on bed rest. She's 6 months pregnant. When I discussed the outstanding balance, she's respectfully requesting consideration for a payment plan. She can make a $100 payment this Friday, and then she'd be asking to make.
Why would I give her a payment plan when I know I told her on August the 8th to pay $50 a week and to come and talk to me if she didn't have the money? Why would I now be sympathetic over somebody saying they're 6 months pregnant when I ordered this in July? She knew when she got pregnant. I gave her till October 1. That would have been 3 months earlier. There's no reason she couldn't have done a sedentary job in either July, August, September, October. And she told us, I think she did community service, but she's not going to do community service because she doesn't think she needs to do community service. Did she do her court work program?
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor, and she was doing court work program all the way up into September, so I'm not sure when this bed rest claim has come in.
She was doing what?
She was doing court work program all the way through the middle of September, so I'm not sure where the bed rest comes in.
She's just, listen, sometimes I don't feel like calling them. It's the day before Christmas. She's not kidding me. I mean, this is nonsense. Did you go to the doctor about the COVID the other day?
I didn't have COVID. My daughter had the flu and had
Your
a
daughter
seizure,
had the flu.
and I have proof of that. Yes.
Well, let me see it. Did you go to a doctor?
Did I go to?
Did she go to a doctor?
Yes, she was in a hospital.
Okay, I don't need the proof. What do you want? What else is she doing? Is she doing our outpatient?
Yes, Your Honor, to her credit, she is compliant with her outpatient treatment. Really, at this point, she owes the victim's impact panel, and she still has not cleared several of those warrants that she has out.
This part feels like the final exam for courtroom patience. The judge explains Mattson's legal rights again, but he just keeps insisting on his truth. He thinks rejecting the court will somehow erase the charges. Spoiler, it won't. He plays semantic games while the judge breaks it all down. Slowly, carefully, and with remarkable professionalism. If anyone needed a tutorial on how to manage courtroom disorder with grace and grit, this judge just...
You haven't gone over and done that either, huh?
She indicated that she took care of her warrants out of Wayne and Westland.
Let's see here. I don't have that handy. Where else does she have warrants out of?
I ran her record December 17th. She still had warrants out of Wayne, Westland, Romulus, Taylor, Westland, Romulus, and that is all, Your Honor. So she still had warrants out of those jurisdictions as of the December 17th date.
Did you go over to Taylor?
I never knew I had a warrant for Taylor.
Did you go over to
I never
Romulus?
even got pulled over by him.
Did you go over to Romulus? She's
No.
not lying to you. I mean, they're on
Okay,
there.
that's fine, but I don't know nothing about any of that. Taylor or Romulus, I've been
Because you got
very
in a
aware.
bad habit of thinking you're larger than courts. That's what happened.
That's not what it is.
Okay, how many total warrants did she have on there?
Your Honor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, guys, the finale is brewing. Mattson is forced to listen as the judge outlines the potential 18 months he's facing. He fidgets, scoffs, and even laughs, but the weight is clearly settling in. The judge offers him a final out: accept representation or proceed solo. He refuses both. At this point, it's not legal defense, it's performance art. But the court? It marches on. There's no room for theatrics when your freedom's on the line. Reality is knocking, and it's not asking politely.
Save it. I don't want to hear it.
If I knew, I would say that. I'm a grown
All right.
woman.
Well, they're
I do
not
know
lying.
nothing
People
about
don't put-
any of that.
People don't put warrants in the liens, ma'am, unless you have a warrant in the jurisdiction.
Okay,
Okay? When is your due date?
in May,
May?
yes.
I thought you just said she was 6 months
I'll
pregnant.
be 6 months next week.
Well, that would make it March, wouldn't it, or not, or
No,
early
it's
April?
May.
So you're not 6 months pregnant.
I'm 5 months pregnant. No, okay. Whatever.
Are you working? How are you supporting
No,
yourself?
I'm not. I'm waiting on cash assistance.
Is the father helping you out of the child?
No,
Are you having complications with your pregnancy?
that's what we're trying to see.
This is the closing act, and it's tense. The judge resets for a final attempt at reason. Mattson's still clinging to his delusions, but the courtroom is done indulging them. She assigns counsel despite his protests and sets the next date. His sovereignty claims didn't move the system an inch. This wasn't just about one defendant. It's a glimpse into how courts handle chaos with professionalism and power. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see